Hi boys and girls. Today we're going to be creating a camouflage painting on top of our chameleon. So I thought we would start by looking at some ways to create camouflage. You're going to have the temper cakes to use, and everybody's going to get a sponge, and you'll have to share a water cup, okay? So to start with, temper cakes are really dry, so you have to kind of wake up the ones you're planning on using. Put some water in there. And remember, when you're using your sponge, you need to rinse it in between colors so that you don't turn everybody's colors into brown, okay? Nobody wants brown. That's going to happen anyway if you mix the wrong colors, okay? So let's talk about the color wheel before we move on. If I mix colors that are across from each other on the color wheel, such as red and green, pink is a version of red, so pink and green, these are going to create brown, okay? Orange and blue, that's going to make brown. But if I use colors that are next to each other, like these colors, yellow is next to orange and orange is next to red, those colors are all going to be okay if I put them together. If you want to mix in some opposite colors, just be sure you don't actually mix them. So let me show you what I mean by that. So if I want to use, let's say I definitely love this. I love this pink, so I want to dab some pink on here, okay? Ooh, I got a lot of water in there. That's okay, because it'll dry. We're doing sponges, so it's going to be kind of a wet and messy thing. Don't worry about it. And if all your water goes down in, like in the red, you're just going to have to stir it around on the part you can reach. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of red in here. Now, if I were to put green, I have to be careful that my green only is in the white spots. If it touches the edges, that's okay, but where it mixes, it's going to make brown. So if I stick this in the green right now, I'm going to make the green turn brown. So I'm going to rinse it. And most likely for Mrs. Walker anyway, I would never put green with this. I would probably put blue, because blue is next to purple, so I know it's not as far off, right? But let's say I do decide to do the green. I'm going to get a little green here. Try to get your green. See how where the green touches, it turns into a brown color? So be careful if you don't want to end up with a whole paper full of brown, okay? And we're not going to be doing it on just plain paper like this. I'm going to put some blue in here and see if I can fix my problem. Maybe it'll turn purple. Ooh, I don't know. Blue and green work good together, right? Blue and purple look good together, but not so much. So the color wheel's up on the wall. If you're not sure which colors you don't want to mix, you could always ask Mrs. Walker, and I'll show you if you're not sure where it is on the wall. It's up in the front of the room under the whiteboard at Grant Wood. It's on the back of the room if we're at Paul Norton, okay? So anyway, you're just going to dab whatever colors you want, wherever you want, to make a really beautiful camouflage. Now, you'll be doing it not on just a plain piece of paper, but you'll be doing it on your chameleon, okay? So you're just going to dab color right onto him and cover him up so he's kind of hidden, but he should be still peeking through, right? You should be able to see through. I'm going to put a little bit of red in there. It's a little tricky to rinse out a sponge, but try, because you don't want your sponges. Ooh, I like that. It's kind of pretty. Maybe orange. Orange would be okay with the red, but is orange okay with the purple? No, because they're across from each other on the color wheel. So be careful what colors you get next to other colors. Just, that's all I can say today, is watch that. Okay, this one, purple, this kind of pinkish purple is okay to put next to the orange, but not the blue. All right, there's my camo. I'm going to let him dry. When he dries, we'll be able to see how he's camouflaged into his background. I don't really like that white leg there. A little bit of white's okay if you want to leave a little bit white, but maybe I'll put a little bit of yellow in there. Oh yeah, that looks kind of orange in some places, right? There. All right, have fun. And where does this go when we're finished? I hope you said the drying rack. You see how wet that is? If yours gets super wet like that, you could probably blot it with a paper towel, but you don't want to take all your paint off. Then it loses all the color. So either just leave it and carry it to the drying rack, or gently blot it. Maybe just take a teeny bit of that out, because you want to leave it kind of wet so that it can keep all the color there.